the water you are taking is dead water. Whatever the water I'm taking is alive water. God created the world in a perfect and a super perfect manner. There is nothing that missed in the earth. People in the ancient days used to worship through so many elements. For example, the plants you might be seeing around, even whenever you are just but at your own home or any other place, possesses whatever we call the positive and the negative energy.
Let's learn something about nature and matters spiritualism. So karibu sana Owen, and
Asante.
welcome to this show. So my first question to you would be,
Yes.
would the Africans worship before Christianity or religion was introduced to us?
Now, according to research and study that I've been able to conduct
Yeah.
through learning, listening, and viewing,
Yes.
Africans in the ancient times, that's when our forefathers lived. And the whole continent was basically occupied by the Africans.
Okay.
Africans had different ways of worshipping. Others worshipped in shrines, and they used to conduct sacrifices. Whatever used to happen is that, for example, in Kenya here, we do have so many tribes, of which I don't see if people being tribal or living according to their own way of life can be described as tribal as it is always described in so many African countries.
Okay.
So many African countries you can come to see that they do term that the reason as to why we are behind or lagging behind is because of tribalism. Tribalism in this manner, according to what I see, whatever they do describe, is that, for example, you calling yourself, I'm from tribe X,
Yeah.
I'm from tribe P.
Yes.
There is nothing like that. When God created man, he knew the language the person was going to speak. Leadership and many other things, or many people from other places trying to fight tribalism in Africa, is like they're trying to correct what God created and put in place. When we go to church, the scriptures read do say in Swahili that hakuna makosa yenye Mungu alifanya wakati aliumba dunia. Hivyo hakuna mwanadamu anafaa kuongeza chochote pale. With that, it means God created the world in a perfect and a super perfect manner. There is nothing that missed in the earth. You speaking language P and me speaking language X, it's the work of God. If somebody wants to impose us, maybe to make us to be speaking a different language, it's like this person is telling us that God did not love you that much, he loved us so much. Or your language is not as good as ours. And in extent to that, it has been extended to politics. If you speak defending your people, for example, here in Kenya, other countries can tell us that we are too tribal. It's like they want to correct whatever God created and put in place. That's what I know about that. And from there, people in the ancient days used to worship through so many elements. For example, we had the element of water, either water flowing in streams
Okay.
or through rain. Taps were not there. Storing containers were not there. If they were there, then the pots. The water in a dam and the water in a container, the water in a river, those two or the three are different. The flowing water in a river is alive water. The water stored in a container is dead water. Whatever the ancient people used to take was the water flowing in a river or the streams. Reason being, that is why even today, when you do take for example, the purified water, and I do take the underground water, do you know that you might easily get sick as compared to me? The water you are taking is dead water. Whatever the water I'm taking is alive water. Life is all about polarity. You have the positive and the negative energy.
Okay.
The water flowing possesses much more of the positive energy that was efficient for the human life as compared to dead water. You take the water, possess the positive energy. That is why you see, when you take water in a stream, you take water maybe from whatever, maybe where you stay, and I take water from a stream. That water that you take from the stream, it's easy to quench my thirst as compared to whatever you shall take. You might have been told to take hot water, I might just be taking normal water. The strength in me after taking water shall not be compared to the strength in you after taking water.
Okay.
That's what happens.
Okay. So we have talked the element of water. You have said there are how many elements?
About 5.
So you can elaborate for us the other elements, and how is someone able to know his or her element?
Now with that, the other second element of it is vegetation. The plants you might be seeing around, even whenever you are just but at your own home or any other place, possesses whatever we call the positive and the negative energy. Leave alone the carbon dioxide spoken of. The water, the plants are able to release the positive energy as they attract the negative energy from your body.
Okay.
That is why you get to see that in the ancient lives, a person could be very sick. Whatever could happen, this person could just be taken in a nearby forest, because during those times, so many areas were forested. You lay the person on the ground. After a period of maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, the person could get healed.
Oh, interesting.
Plenty of vegetation releases more positive energy. Scarcity of it releases less energy. Your body is there. That is why you get to see that this person, the body tends to be hot when the person is sick. Whatever that means is that there is too much of negative energy in that person's body as compared to the positive energy. So this person has to release it to the surrounding. That is why when you go to hospital, a drip is put in you to cool your body to some extent. The much negative energy in your body has to be lost. That's what happens.
Okay.
We do have the ground. This soil that we do see around,
that is the heart.
That is now the heart.
Okay.
Possesses much more of the positive energy as well as other spirits in it. The same thing happens, just as we've discussed, in the issue of plants and water. From there, that's what I can tell you about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Next elements?
Next element is about the fire. We're told that In ancient days, people used to lit fires during the evenings and so on. But the essence of that fire, in larger percentage, was very useful to women than men. Because you are told, if a man gets exposed to very hot environments, the person might fail to have children in the future. But with the women, it was very, very good for them. The fire is just like an example of the moon to women. The moon determines the moods of a woman. The sun determines the moods of a man. In other words, the sun, you can describe it as being masculine and this one being feminine in nature. That's what is there. Now, that's what I can tell you.
The last one, the last element?
I don't really remember the last element because I don't really remember.
Okay. So how is one able to know, like, my element is fire, my element is water, or my element is heart? How do you know that?
With that, you can try something known as meditation. Meditation, you find a peaceful environment, be seated for a long period of time, maybe like 15 minutes for you to cool. Then with that, stare at anything that you might see in front of you. With that essence, you shall see something known as energy. In as much as people might be describing energy as in being invisible, energy is visible. Close your eyes, meditate. Take yourself to the spiritual world, trying to figure out what is good for you, what is bad for you. But never try something known as astral-projection, because with that, you can easily die while seated. You can easily die while sleeping.
Okay, let me ask on behalf of my viewers, what is astral projection?
Astral projection is taking yourself, that's taking your spirit to the outside you.
Taking my spirit
to the outside you.
Okay.
Mostly it happens when people are asleep. You might be in this area whereby, for example, there is a time, I believe it was in standard 4 or something. Then in coming to around when I was in, I believe, in form 3, sometimes in a sleep, I could just find myself somewhere that I don't even feel while I was sleeping. But when I get to wake up, I know I was dreaming of something. It's like taking a spirit to the future, then you come back to the present day lifestyle. Did you watch something known as The Simpsons?
No.
It's just but a cartoon network, but whoever the programs of it, I believe they do something known as astral projection. You take up yourself to the outside you. The body remains, but the spirit.
How are you able to detect a good energy, a positive energy, and a negative energy? How do you differentiate someone has a good energy and someone has a low energy, like a vibration?
For example, women, the mood tells it much. There are those times whereby women are always in good moods, and there are those times that women are always in bad moods. The bad moods, I mean that they might be angered by anything small, then they tend to maybe have a revenge on whatever might be there. That's what happens with them. Because whenever you are maybe that revengeful or feeling maybe to be revengeful, maybe you just get angered on small issues, it means you're possessing much more of the negative energies by that. Yes. After having read the Bible, so many scriptures, I came to see that some other things do not add up clearly. For instance, I believe in high school, we were taught that The first Bible was written in Greek and Hebrew language. Then I came to ask my teacher, why didn't they just bring the Hebrew language in the Bible and the Greek? Then the teacher told me they had to translate it for easy understanding. How super were these people that we could not be able to understand that language? Secondly, when you look at whatever is stated in the 10 Commandments, it puts you into so many questions. Some of the commandments say, do not accuse anyone falsely, do not steal, do not admire, do not create any other image for worship other than me.
Yes.
We do see it happening in so many religions. People are worshipping images in so many religions. Still, those who might have written the Bible, I still see some questioning there. The first people to be called Christians, according to what is written there, is known as Antioch. The place known as Antioch. I don't know where that place is. Still, Israel, larger part of it, I believe it was for the Africans. I believe of it. Majorly, Africa was just for the African. If we had other tribes, then they must had dispersed also from during that time, maybe when these ones were moving, these and these and these. And in relation to that, let me take you outside the religion or maybe discussion with those things of spiritualism and religion. You come to see something. It is said, for example, the Nilotes in Kenya, they traveled from Sudan in a place called Barel Ghazal, came settled in the slopes of Mount Elgon, others now dispersed from those other parts to these other parts. Does it mean that in the present day country, Kenya, there are no people? Those ones who went there, they are assumed to have gone to settled in the Lake Victoria region for fishing. Why did they not just utilize the River Nile for fishing? Still, we had options of going to Egypt. Why didn't they? What was leading them? What was wrong there that they had to drop?
But I think it's the same case with Bantus. Bantus originated from, is it Congo?
The spirits of our ancestors knows the truth. They might not be knowing anything. Because it's centuries and centuries since it was written. It's centuries. With me, I don't believe in whatever I just hear. Even the Tanzanian president, I don't know when he ruled, Nyerere said, whatever is brought to you, apply your own reasoning to justify whether it is true or not, or whether it fully fits you or not.
Yeah.
Now, some of the knowledge or whatever you hear me speaking of, I do gather it from some of the Pan-Africans, the like of these people like calling themselves Ukuu of Africa on social media, that is YouTube. We have somebody known as DJ Isma, but when you search it, you find something known as Sauti na Simulizi. We do have Ananias Ediga, Jamal April, and so many other people. The reason as but why I chose to be listening to the teachings from Tanzania is that they don't just speak on the daily trends that we do have, pertaining even the religion and everything. They combine whatever came in the past with the present day, then they predict the future.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I know. And they are good friends of mine online. That's what I know. For maybe further study of maybe a person, try to not to about religion and everything. Try not to fix yourself up to a fixed mind. Do research. The best information that you can always get as anybody anywhere in the world, anything that you may be feeling, it sounds and control it whatever you know. That is the best, that's the right thing. Go there on social media, find a book or a scripture written known as the Jubilees. You will get to know something about it. Even there, that is where you will get so much information that might not be there in the Bible. The book of Enoch himself, you'll find something there. And you'll get to know something that Enoch knew that other Christians or any other human being might not have been able to know about it.
Okay.
Even in that book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees, you will be told nobody has ever seen God, even the angels themselves. They don't know. They just see something like a throne.
Wow. So according to you, between a man and a woman, who has more power in spiritualism?
When it comes to the matter of having strength, spiritual strength, in as much as people say that the masculine is distinct than the feminine, to me it's a vice versa. Today, if we're up, you as a mother, maybe if you have a kid, you will prefer running away with your kid than whatever the father might do. The father might just escape on his own. The woman's womb is always a portal that links a baby to the outside dimension. That's the world. That's whatever happens. Now, with that, I do see that a woman has got more spiritual strength and energy than a man. That's what I know.
Does that mean we can manifest easily than men?
Easily than men. It's true.
Okay.
Yes. Because women losing their hearts more easily than men do. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming through on this interview. Oh my. Guys, we are learning more about spiritualism, and if you'd like me to host him again, let me know on the comment section. Drop a comment. I'm also learning about this journey, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Share it to your friends, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next on my next video. Bye bye for now.